the reason why you're gonna get the job, you're gonna get the guy, you're gonna get the house, the money, whatever you want.
I think जो लोग अच्छे से अपने thoughts को articulate कर लेते हैं, सामने वाले तक convey कर लेते हैं, relationships भी उनके उतने ही ज़्यादा सुलझे हुए होते हैं, if I may use that word. Hi everyone, welcome back to Listen Up with Simran Isha, where we dive into real conversations about life, personal growth, and everything in between. Today, we have an exciting episode lined up for you, so turn up the volume and listen up. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Listen Up with Simran Isha. Well, today, Simran and I thought to dive into this 2025 mid-slump with 3 practical tips that you can use. So, कौन सी ऐसी 3 skills हैं that as a woman you can add into your life, or if you already have, you can nourish them or work on them more so that you feel more confident and more like yourself, right?
Yeah, I think also like skills which we were not directly taught in school or colleges. We are sent to schools and colleges, but like a lot of people forget to teach us the actual personal skills which are important in the world. When you actually step outside, you finish your degree, you finish all this, because we feel like whatever is taught in our schools and colleges is what will help us in life. But the truth is very far from it. And for me, like the first skill that I feel like was so important, especially as a woman, is financial intelligence. I think a lot of us, I don't know about you, Isha, but for a very long time, I didn't care about my finances. And I think I would just leave it to my dad or like my brother to do things instead of like me taking charge of my own financial knowledge.
I hear you. Until I started earning myself, मुझे भी ऐसा लगता था that I don't need to worry about this aspect at all.
Yeah.
But once I did, and also I did my master's in finance, so maybe that brought a lot of insight into finance for me. But once I did and understood, I definitely felt a power in it once I took my finances into control. मुझे वो चीज में एक अपना power feel होने लग पड़ी. There's a sense of understanding. Obviously, there's so many layers to it. और मेरे दिमाग में ना कि भी हमारे दिमाग में stereotypes हैं. लोग हमारे दिमाग में fixed करके रखते हैं कि the woman is supposed to take care of the household and the man is supposed to take care of the finances. Like that's the stereotype in it.
Absolutely.
And somewhere we have changed it for ourselves, but फिर भी हम उस चीज में फंसे हुए थे कि पापा कर लेंगे या मेरा भाई कर लेगा, that kind of conversation. But not today, not anymore. Even investing and understanding about mutual funds, understanding about the market, everything. I think everybody should have a little bit of knowledge, and because if you've been, let's talk about all the women that I know. All my friends are such smart women. If they can be smart in so many areas of their life, just because they are not exposed to a certain area, iska matlab ye nahi hai they cannot be smart in it. So I think finance is that one area.
And I think a lot of women today are learning the importance of financial independence. So a lot of women are doing jobs or they're taking up careers, starting businesses. So they are learning how to make the money, but also to know how to, your money makes money. Like my dad always says that money makes money. So the money coming in, if it's just going out, that means you're not really building wealth, And as a woman, it's also important, like you said, to learn how to invest, learn how your money can make money for you and not leaving it to like other people to do it for you. Yes, you can hire financial advisors or whatever that is, or you can take help from your father or whoever, but you still should know what's happening with the money. Like it shouldn't be like, they'll take care of it. Because when the time comes, if somebody asks you a question, you should be able to know what that money is doing. Because believe it or not, like I saw my mom as a housewife, my father is a businessman, he made the money, he was the provider, my mom was the facilitator, she was the nurturer, made sure the house was running. And today a lot of things are in her name and everything he does is in her name, but she has no idea about the actual finances.
Yeah.
And this is what I saw growing up. So that is what, and it's nothing wrong with that, but I think power is reclaimed when you take charge of your money and your finances, because money is a very important tool in today's world,
I think we both are having this conversation also because both of our moms also we relate on this fact are homemakers. So we've seen that factor in our household. But you were mentioning, and even I've seen it in my house, that Mama ke naam par bhi, there are certain things Mama has no idea what is happening with that.
Exactly.
But I've realized one thing, what power my mother holds actually. My dad is the one who's earning, he's managing all the bills per se. But my mom is the one who can at least be who can take care of the saving side of it, because that is one aspect of it that can be managed with the household and everything, right? Because as much as you need to manage everything in the household, you also need to save for the future. So maybe one thing that I've learned and I want to invite, even though when I get into a marriage, obviously equal partnership and everything is something that I'm looking forward to. But when it comes to finances, I would love कि I have a partner जिसके साथ आप वो भी divide कर लो कि ठीक है, this person is taking care of the savings and this person is taking care of the bills. So you also understand that, okay, this is how the money is flowing into the house, this is where it's being used, and this much I have to save every month.
Yes.
समझ रहे हो? And if we both divide it, I think we can do it better as a couple, as as a family.
For sure.
So yeah, somewhere I think they divide I've seen in my parents also, they divide the responsibilities financially, and I think it works so beautifully for them.
Yeah.
My mom also feels that she's in power, and my dad also feels that he has that,
absolutely
equal say in when it comes to finances.
I think it's that, like, obviously it's teamwork to figure it out as a couple together, like, in today's world it should be teamwork anyway. But like, even if you are just starting, like, one of the books that I would say that I would recommend, like, when I started my financial, because I know it's difficult and it's a little overwhelming, but 2 or 3 books that I really like. One is The Psychology of Money. That's a really nice book. The second,
book.
Nice book, right? Second one is The Rich Dad Poor Dad. Great read again. And the third one I would say is Invest Like a Woman, if I'm not wrong. And that one is by...
I've not read that one.
That's a nice one as well, which is, changed my perspective a lot about like money as well. So I feel like these are like good places to start. Again, you don't need to know everything overnight. It'll develop slowly. But yeah, I hope that helps as well if someone is listening. So,
I think as a girl, the idea that finances is not the scary part.
yeah.
Handling money is not, budgeting is not scary. You can do it. If you just dive into it, you will understand and you'll do it. Ek do baar you can take guidance from someone, but once you get it, you get it. Exactly. Maybe that is the conversation we both were having also, why we chose to speak about it today.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
And that gets us into the next skill that we want to talk about, that is building the art of communication. And communication is not just verbal, but non-verbal communication, your body language as well. You have to build not just verbal cues for yourself, but how you want to, carry yourself, your body, when you're talking to someone, how you want to present yourself, your body language basically, how it talks to the other person. That is also an art that you have to learn and imbibe in your life.
Oh my God, if you learn the art of communication, you can get ahead from anybody else in your life. It's the reason why you're going to get the job, you're going to get the guy, you're going to get the house, the money, whatever you want. Because we are humans and we need to know how to communicate. And if you learn how to communicate the right way, you can actually have your life go in your favor. And that's why, you see some people and they're really popular with everyone. And then you see some people and they are not very popular. And the difference is usually the nature of communication and how smart they are or how well they know how to communicate with someone,
No, I get that. I think जो लोग अच्छे से अपने thoughts को articulate कर लेते हैं, सामने वाले तक convey कर लेते हैं, relationships भी उनके उतने ही ज़्यादा सुलझे हुए होते हैं, if I may use that.
Yep.
Sorted होते हैं. लोग आपको misunderstand नहीं करते. There is less chances of miscommunication and misunderstandings also.
Yep.
You're able to come across as a very a person that everybody goes to for advice. A person that everybody looks up to.
Yeah, and I think communication is, for me, the first part of communication starts with listening. If you can be a good listener, then you'll be a good communicator. We see a lot of people walking around just trying to throw ideas at people, but they're not ready to listen what the other person requires, So I think the art of communication starts with first listening to the person in front of you or the audience in front of you, then responding and as per what they share, and then, kind of understanding where they're at. Because then if you let somebody talk for 2 minutes, I promise you they will instantly like you. This is a trick which I will probably share. If I meet a new person, of course I introduce myself, but the first thing I do is let them talk for at least 2 to 3 minutes when they meet me. And I don't talk. I don't share about myself first or what I'm doing first. I listen. And automatically, after 3 minutes, when I finish the conversation and I tell them a little about me and I leave, every time they'll be like, oh, Simran is so nice, she was so good to talk to. Even though I did nothing of the talking. Because a lot of times, people just want to be heard. They just want to be heard. So this is another trick of communication, that let people talk. And they will tell you things which they've probably not told their best friends sometimes, just because you're giving them the space to do it,
Oh wow, I think that's a good trick. Just allow people to speak.
Yeah.
अगर आपने सामने वाले की बात सुन ली, automatically they'll feel heard, they'll feel seen, and that's what at the end of the day everybody is craving for.
Yep.
तो अगर वो उतना ही कर लोगे तो obviously that's a very good foundation to break the ice also, I think. Very nice idea, very nice trick to break the ice with someone. So someone who's not very confident, I think that's a very good tip for them also.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not very confident to speak, but allow the other person, prompt the other person to speak more.
Yeah.
So, that builds that good rapport. Oh, that's a nice trick. I like that, Simran. I really do.
My secret tips. But yeah, I'm sharing the few of the things that work for me. But yeah. I don't know if there's anything else that worked for you ever in communication as well, Isha.
I think I am big on non-verbal cues also.
Oh, yeah.
The way my body reacts to when I'm talking to someone. And, my friend quoted me. So, I am so big on non-verbal communication. If I'm listening to a video also, I'll do a head nod on the video also sometimes. And she's like, you're looking at a video. But that's just natural to me. That if I'm listening to someone or I'm listening to somebody talk, there's a head nod, there's a smile on my face. Like, I love being that attentive person on the other side. So maybe that's something that I've created in myself, and that makes the other person to speak more or talk to me openly or trust me, please.
Yes.
I think that builds that trust. So वो एक चीज है जो मुझे लगता है non-verbal communication, and some people are very stoic in their body. मतलब बहुत ऐसे stern होके बैठेंगे, but जब वो बात करेंगे आपको पता चलेगा they're very sweet. It doesn't match sometimes. और वहाँ पे कई बार गड़बड़ हो जाती है. Before you even utter a word, your non-verbal communication is the giveaway. Is this person open to communication? Like if you're entering or you're not walking around in a room, if you're walking like this, 2 arms, in front of you, everybody's like, oh, she's very closed off. She doesn't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
But if you have a smile on your face, you're just looking around, or you just go up to someone, say hi, just simple hi, and with a smile on your face. I think that does the trick, and instantly makes everybody like you. Instantly makes you approachable. And I think non-verbal cues help people approach you, and then obviously the way you communicate helps them, trust you and build that conversation further.
So well said. That is so true when it comes to communication. Like you said, like the trick you shared, head nod. Like if you just when someone's talking, if you just tilt your head a little towards one side and just nod, they will think and they will perceive you as an open and accepting person. If you don't cross your arms, like you said, and keep them open, they will think that, okay, she's approachable. Like, I used to have a friend of mine who used to whenever we used to go out, people would never approach her. And when they start talking to her, she was like, oh my God, you're the nicest person ever. But we thought you were so intimidating when we first saw you. Now, why is it somebody made a perception about her before she even started talking? It's because of her body language, like you said, So really keeping in mind small things like back, you have a straight back, don't slouch, don't cross your arms, don't be closed off, be open, have a smile on your face. Even though it's basic things, they can make such a huge difference.
That brings us to the next thing that we want to talk about, and that's building your personal brand. And a personal brand is not just about now communication, it's about everything else, from your looks to your attire, the way you dress up. For me, I think personal branding is very simple language to understand what my body feels good, confident in, dress up in that way, and show up as that every single day, day in, day out. That's personal branding for me.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think first of all, it has to be authentic, like you said, comfortable to who you are. I also feel personal brand is that when you meet someone, you have less than 2 minutes to leave an impression on that person. What will that person go back and tell their friends or family about you is your personal brand. So that means that she was a very nice person, kind person, gentle person, very loving, very strict, very assertive, very leadership. Depending on what you say, that is the way that
Yeah.
like it changes, right, as well. So that's why it's so important that your personal brand is made up of your outside, of how you look, how you present yourself, what you bring to the table, and on the inside, which is communication,
Inside.
also like what you are on the inside as well, right? And we
Yeah.
can refine
Yeah.
the personal brand. We can actually build it as
Yeah.
per what we like or what we don't like, you know?
Yeah. You know, over the years, we started liking such personalities, and there are certain parts of a person like Priyanka Chopra ki koi quality hogi that really attracts you.
Mhm.
Maybe today is the time to sit back and think, ki, why am I so attracted to a certain celebrity or person about certain quality? Maybe that is something you want to imbibe in yourself and add to your personal brand. The way Priyanka Chopra is always such confident person, like always she comes across, she tells that I carry my confidence in my purse, like that is kind of a skill that I would want in my personal brand. I carry my confidence in my purse, like those kind of things. Not just that, and sometimes like okay, like Rekha we talk about. Her sari is her personal brand today. She's always in that beautiful Indian attire, and today when we see that attire, the first person that pops in our head is Rekha. I think the way you dress and the way you carry yourself, also very small things like what colors you choose to wear for your on your body, you know, what suits you, everything matters when it comes to building that brand. And as a girl, as a female, I think it's very important to keep working on it. Like what haircut suits you, even that, like, okay, this is not working for me, I need to try something else. Because people perceive you ki, okay, if I see somebody like this, mujhe Isha ki yaad aa rahi hai because she dresses this way, or she's always someone who's very poised. She's always someone who has a lot of grace. If you know, that's how you build that personal brand. Apne qualities se and apni communication se actually us personal brand ko build kar sakte hain, and then you can actually keep on improving, adding to it as and when you mature in life.
I think like that's the key. Like whoever you want to be, you need to first think of that person, that woman or man that you want to be in your head. Visualize how they look, how they talk, what they are wearing, where are they going. Have that idea in your head of this person. And then the second part of it is research. You need to also research this. Research different hair that works on you. Research different body types. Research these things. All the information is on Google, on YouTube, on Pinterest, on Instagram. You will find tens and thousands of coaches helping you, you know, with these kind of things. So do the research, and then once you decide, okay, this is the person I want to associate myself as, you're going to consciously start doing that. You're going to consciously start picking clothes like that, colors like that, you said, you know. If I say Rekha, the sari comes in your head, like you said. If I say, even a funniest thing like Bappi Lahiri, you'll have gold chains around the neck, you know.
Gold chains.
If I say Himesh Reshamya, you'll have the cap and the mic, and you know, like you have an idea of a person, or Urfi for the matter of fact, you know. You'll always know exactly what you're thinking in your head. So that's why when somebody says Isha or Simran or you, what is that personality? You know, and that's something you want to ask yourself.
Yes, and then that's something you want to build, and you have to start building it because it doesn't happen overnight. It's something that you keep adding onto it. One more tip I remember you've given us before also in one of the episodes even, is creating a mood board for something like this. You create mood board for outfits, right? In Pinterest. It's such a good trick. I've used it after that. If you want to, you know, dress up for an event or you want to show up as yourself, first create it on a mood board, and then start finding what you have, what you can, you know, work with. Then you'll be able to reach it very nicely, because once you visualize it or see it on a screen, of course, because we live around screens now, you're able to, you know, replicate it better now.
So true, so true. But yeah, I think we've had a nice conversation today with a lot of different things. If there's any one particular thing that you would like us to create a specific episode on, so just let us know. We can even go more in depth about each of these topics, I'm sure. But yeah, I think it was great sharing everything.
Yeah, I think it was a great episode, and we will see you guys in the next episode.
Absolutely. Keep listening, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye. That's a wrap for today's episode of Listen Up with Simran Isha. Hope you enjoyed the conversation, and make sure to like and subscribe for more. Until next time, stay tuned and listen up.